The possibly best Spider-Man movie ever is getting a sequel in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. But you shouldn't have to make a total leap of faith with this one. A lot of things happened in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, but you don't need to run through the whole thing. Instead, we've got a primer on the 5 key points and plots you need to remember from movie 1 before you make the next big multiversal leap across the Spider-Verse. First, let's talk about where Miles Morales of Earth 1610 stands as the main character in the Central Universe. To these movies, at least. Miles was bitten by a spider from Kingpin's Alchemax lab labeled 42, and because of that gained all the powers associated with Spider-Man. Proportionate strength, speed, agility, durability, wall crawling, and web shooting power as a spider, along with spider sense. In addition, Miles can turn effectively invisible by blending into his surroundings, and he has venom strikes, or electrical force he can shoot through his hands. By the end of Into the Spider-Verse, Miles has mastery of his abilities and is recognized as a hero by New York. As Spider-Man, Miles has the reluctant respect of Officer Davis, who also happens to be his dad. Importantly, after the death of Peter Parker at Kingpin's hands, Miles is the only Spider-Man in this universe. But he's far from alone. Speaking of, in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the multiverse was broken thanks to Kingpin's Super Collider, which led to the confluence of Spider-People in Miles' universe. We learned there are nearly infinite versions of the Spider origin story and several versions of Spider heroes. Despite the circumstances of their universes and who they are, they've all generally suffered a big personal loss, gained spider powers, and have to make tough decisions that affect their larger worlds. We met alternate versions of Gwen Stacy and Peter B. Parker, who we'll get into in depth a little later, but also Penny Parker, Spider-Ham, and Spider-Man Noir. Notably, the Gwen from Earth 65 calls out to Miles through some kind of portal across universes at the very end of the movie. So it seems they found some way to still connect in real time. In movie 1, the alternate universe versions couldn't stay in Miles' world for too long, or they'd die of cellular decay. Maybe there will be some way around this complication in Across the Spider-Verse. Beyond the main gang, there really are countless spider heroes out there who we've barely met, including Miguel O'Hara from Earth 928, who appeared in the post-credits pointing scene. Very notably, he gains a device that can make an autonomous universe jump, which he clearly will make use of. And don't forget, while there are infinite heroes, that means there are infinite villains too. There's one notably dangerous villain who could be anywhere in the multiverse now, which brings us to... Kingpin was the central villain of movie number 1 and developed the multiversal super collider under Alchemax for the purpose of accessing alternate versions of his wife Vanessa and son Richard Fisk, whose deaths he unfairly blamed on Spider-Man. He was partially successful, but Fisk's alternate wives and sons were just as disgusted by Kingpin's brutality as the versions from Earth 1610. He ends up captured and presented to the police by Miles. Arrested and deflated by alternate versions of his family, Kingpin 1610 doesn't pose the greatest threat right now. Actually, the villains in Miles' universe are mostly non-threats as of now, implying new threats will come from elsewhere. Most of Miles' villains were Kingpin's henchmen, including Miles' beloved uncle Aaron Davis, who was the Prowler. He is now dead, shot by Kingpin for not immediately killing Miles in his Spider-Man alter ego. Green Goblin / Norman Osborn is also dead, crushed in the Super Collider explosion, while Tombstone was arrested with Kingpin. It's unclear what happened to Scorpion after he was knocked out by Spider-Man Noir and Spider-Ham, because he was not seen again after that point. Presumably, he was arrested. Lastly, Earth 1610's Doc Ock was apparently hit by a truck in the final battle, and her fate is left ambiguous. However, in an alternate cut of the film, she is depicted as alive and having jumped into the Super Collider before its explosion, musing about the powers of the multiverse. She could technically still be in play and have access to countless allies and weapons via the multiverse. Don't count her out just yet. I told you before, while Miles is by himself, he sure isn't alone. He's got a lot going for him aside from his own abilities. He's got support. While it seems like Miles is still at the Visions Academy, things have gotten better for him, and now that he's actually trying, school has gotten more manageable too. He finally met his roommate, Genki, who originally had a much bigger part in the movie, as seen in alternate universe mode on the home video release. Originally, he helped Miles figure out his powers as his friend, and they had a shared interest in music. But allegedly, his part was trimmed down for being too similar to Ned Leeds from the MCU. He is expected to return, and hey, maybe Miles will get his own guy in the chair. Miles, of course, has the endless love and support of his mother, Rio, and he has a closer bond with his father by the end of the first movie, leaning on each other after Uncle Aaron's death. On a professional level, Jefferson seems to be more accepting of the new Spider-Man, but given that the new Spider-Man hugged him and said, "I love you," I wouldn't be shocked if he figures out who he is. Miles has one ally in his homeworld who actually knows his secret in canon and can be a huge help: May Parker. She's alive and kicking in Earth 1610 and can be a powerful resource with her incredible spider arsenal/archive. She was harboring the other spider people and is generally very knowledgeable about all things Spider-Man and Spider-Verse. Even though her nephew is deceased, she'll want to put the coolest tool shed ever to good use, helping his successor, Miles. Even if cellular decay is still a problem, members of the Spider-Verse gang will at least be fully in action for the duration of Across the Spider-Verse. It doesn't seem like we'll be seeing Penny, Peter Porker, or Noir in any significant amount, but there will be plenty of new Spider characters to come. There are two big returners, of course. Peter B. Parker, Earth 616, overcame his crippling self-doubt and realized he liked the idea of being a hero, a mentor, and even a dad. He seemingly got back together with Mary Jane and had a child with her, Mayday. This is from the trailer footage. He is experienced and seems happy and confident, so he'll be a massive ally and mentor once again. Gwen Stacy, Earth 65, has a similar story to the comics' famous Spider-Woman/Spider-Gwen. She is a member of the Mary Jane's band, and her Peter Parker, who died, was her best friend and seemed to have been a version of the Lizard, like his comics counterpart. Gwen said she doesn't have friends anymore, but agreed to make Miles an exception. Who knows, maybe something romantic between the two could happen. Again, Miles hears her voice through a portal at the end of the movie and in the second trailer, which may indicate they found ways of regularly communicating across multiverses. Well, at least Miguel has, since it seems he's the one who got the other Spider people teamed up. What do you think will be the most significant returning plot? Could it be centered on who knows Miles' secret, a character we lost track of, or is it all Miguel O'Hara clashing with Miles? Let us know what you think in the comments. I'm Kim Horcher, thanks for watching, and for more on the Spider-Verse, check out our other videos. And don't forget to follow and subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch.